guys, welcome back to my channel. We're back with another video today, and this video is going to be kind of a combination of just setting up my sinking funds for 2022, as well as just kind of chatting with you guys and telling you kind of like where I'm at in life and what has changed since I previously posted on my channel, all that good kind of stuff. So I'm not really sure how this video is going to end up being structured. We're just going to kind of like start with the sinking fund setup and kind of just see where it takes us from there. You can see I have all of my stuff here. Basically, for my sinking funds this year, or my envelopes, I guess I should say, I'm incorporating the cash envelope system in kind of like my own way with my sinking funds. I do most of my budgeting in like with my debit card. I don't do cash. Like I don't do the cash method of budgeting because it's really inconvenient for me and my lifestyle because I don't go to the store. I hate going to the store if I can help it. So I need, debit card, all of that. So this is the stuff that I have. We're just going to start by, I'm going to explain to you my sinking funds, kind of show them to you. And in doing that, just kind of tell you where I'm at in terms of life and budgeting and all of that. So we're gonna move over to the iPad here. Hopefully the glare from the light won't be too bad. All right, so I have my 2022 budget planner here, and you can see I have sections for sinking funds and envelopes here, and those are what we're gonna be focusing on today. So if we go ahead and go to the sinking fund section, I do have a whole page that we're gonna be looking at for my sinking funds because I have already pretty well set these up for 2022, but I wanted to kind of walk you guys through them in case you are new to sinking funds and to just kind of explain where I'm at on things. So when it comes to sinking funds, let's just go ahead and go through what I've set up here. They are already kind of set up in terms of like what I'm planning on doing. So let me zoom you in just a tad. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. So these first 4 sinking funds here are the main sinking funds that I've saved every year for the past like 4 years at least. These are the core things that I need to save for that just make my life a lot easier if I just have the money when the time comes for needing it. So we have property taxes, Christmas, my vet fund, and car maintenance. So in the past, the car maintenance one has been a little like lower priority. The property tax, obviously I have to pay that every December, so that is something that needs to be saved. Christmas has also ended up not being funded as much as I would hope, so for 2022, I want to focus on that one. And then vet fund, we are in and out of that account all the time. We have a lot of animals. I have a whole business about guinea pig and rabbit care, and we're working on building an animal rescue, so the vet fund is definitely something that I want to really focus on as well. So for this video, kind of how we're going to end up in cash versus my bank sinking funds is I've noted over here which ones are going to be in cash and which ones are saved in my Capital One 360 accounts. So the ones that kind of have a little bit higher balances, you can see I want to keep those in my Capital One accounts because those are higher interest savings accounts. So I want to accrue the interest on those. These are also the accounts that I want easy access to. I don't want to have to worry about having my cash envelopes at home when I need the money. Say if I have to make an emergency vet trip, I don't want to have to worry about where my money is. I can just transfer it and use my debit card. For these Capital One accounts, I have a separate Capital One savings account for each one of these things. You can nickname Capital One 360 accounts, which is awesome. So they're all nicknamed these different things. And then I do have a Capital One 360 checking account that all of these are linked to that I can just transfer money to and have it available in that checking with that debit card at any time. That works really well for me because just having it in a separate bank with a separate card keeps me from spending it for other things. Like in my brain, it's separate and I keep it that way for sinking funds. So that is the method we're doing here. For these other 4 down here, these are a lot lower priority of sinking funds or envelopes, whatever you want to call them. In my brain, the sinking funds are the ones in the bank and the envelopes are the ones that are cash. That's just how it works in my brain. So I have vacation. We haven't ever taken a vacation. We being my boyfriend and I. We have been together for almost 10 years and we've never taken a vacation together. So I want to start saving some money for that because I would really like to actually go on like a beach vacation together. That would be really fun. So I'm going to start saving for that. Then we have the float trip, which is a little mini vacation we do every year with some of our friends. That's something we've done every year for 4 or 5 years now, I'm not sure. But we do save some money for that. And this will be for paying our friends for the actual rafts themselves and the float itself. And then for the cabin that we pay to stay in. And then also for the food and drinks and stuff that we get for the float. So this covers everything that we'll need there. House projects. This one is just one I want to start putting money into. We're going to have some house projects coming up. My boyfriend and I do own a house together. We both obviously own it together. So we kind of work together on what house projects we're going to do and what needs done to our house. So I want to start saving some money for that so I can contribute if we have any projects we need to do. And then gifts and miscellaneous is really just for like birthdays and any holidays other than Christmas. So that is the thinking behind all of these. To kind of feed off of these to just give you guys a little bit of info on where we're at in life. So like I said, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 10 years. We're not married, obviously. We do own a house together. We are working towards the same financial goals. Like I said, we're working on starting an animal rescue. That's just kind of what we want to do with our lives. We have a lot of animals right now. And when I say animal rescue, it would be specifically for guinea pigs, rabbits, hamsters, you know, all the smaller exotic animals that a lot of animal shelters don't take and there's not a lot of rescues for, because that is kind of my passion, my niche, I guess, is I have a separate business, separate YouTube channel that is about guinea pig and rabbit care and care for small pets. So that is what we are working on. Why I want to get so much of this debt paid off in 2022 so that we can work on those life goals. So we do focus on the same life goals. Pretty much to us, we're already married. We're just not officially married. So I know that's a little different from a lot of situations, but it works for us. So that's what we do. I will also say that from when I did Financial Flamingo, so if you used to watch my channel, I used to work in public accounting and I used to work a ton of hours along with trying to run Financial Flamingo. And ultimately that is why I burned out and quit doing Financial Flamingo like as a regular thing, because I just couldn't keep up. And in April of 2021, I actually quit my public accounting job and I now have a private accounting job in a hospital. So my job is a lot more laid back now and I have a lot more time for the things I actually want to focus on outside of work. So that is amazing as well. And you'll see in my future budgeting videos and just in my 2022 budget setup and all of that, those things will be reflected in my budget and in my goals. So I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up on some of that stuff. If you want to know more, or maybe I'll do a Q&A video, I'm not really sure, but I just wanted to mention some of that stuff to you guys since it does have to do with my goals and my budgets and all of that. So this is really what I'm planning on saving in my sinking funds. These 4, obviously, like I said, are the top priority. These are the amounts that I want to save. And we're going to go ahead and set up the actual envelopes for the ones that are cash. I didn't talk about these 2 down here, month ahead and savings challenge, because those are potential goals for 2022. They're not things that I'm like set on. So month ahead, eventually I'd like to save some money to get a month ahead. And then savings challenge, there's a lot of fun ones out there that people do, particularly like in the summer. It seems like there's a lot of really cool ones. So I just wanted to set up an envelope just in case I wanted to do one this year. So that is where I'm at on sinking funds and envelopes. So we are now, I'm going to zoom you out just a tad bit. We're going to go ahead and set up my actual cash envelope system, and I'll explain like what this actually is if you are unfamiliar. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube for people that do a all cash budget, because some people do just budget all of their money in cash. Like I said, that's just inconvenient for my lifestyle, but it works fabulous if you have trouble with spending, or it just would work better for you instead of trying to keep track of what's in your cash account or your bank account. Cash can be a really great way. It's also good psychologically because you have to actually give up cash to buy something when you use cash. It's not just like a magical number coming out of your bank account. So that's just kind of the overview there. I got this cash binder from Amazon, and it did come with these envelopes. So we're gonna go ahead and go through these, and I'm gonna explain like what they are, what we're doing here. So like I said, this binder came with these envelopes, but I have a Cricut, so I put my own labels on them. But there are a ton of Etsy shops that you can get labels. You can get these binders. I'll link this one down below, but there's a ton of cool ones you can get on Etsy. So first up, we have property tax. Actually, I'm gonna move these because I'm gonna put them in the front as we go. So first up, I have property tax. Like I said, this is one of my high priority savings, and I have decided to save this in cash because I need to pay it in cash, because they charge me quite a large fee for using a card to pay this in my county. So I am just gonna save it in cash so I don't have to worry about getting it out of the bank when it comes time to pay it. So that is my first envelope. Next up, we have float trip. Like I said, little mini vacation we do every year. I'm gonna save it in cash as well because we do pay quite a bit of what I'm gonna save to our friends. So it'll just be easier to have it in cash when we need it. So that's the next one. Then we have fun money. This is really just gonna be for like if we take a random trip, like we've randomly gone and seen a baseball game before and just needed some extra cash for that. So this is what this envelope's gonna be for. I'm just gonna put a little extra cash in here every so often just so that we have this available if we wanna spontaneously do something fun. So we have that one. Then we have the month ahead one. Like I said, I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be doing this or if I'll be saving it in cash. It might be one of those situations where I use extra cash that's left over in some of these other envelopes and move it to this one just to kind of slowly over time add to this. Same thing with savings challenge. I don't really budget in cash, obviously, so this could be just be money left over in other categories that gets sent to this, or I could do an actual savings challenge and get cash out of the bank. But I wanted to have an envelope for it just so I didn't forget about it and in case I wanted to do this year. And then the last envelope I have is back to bank, and this would just be any money from the other envelopes that I needed to deposit back into the bank. I could move it into here so I could quickly just grab what needed to go back into my account. And then I do have two extra envelopes. One's just plain and then one has these little pockets. So I'm gonna put these in here just for change or anything like that, if I can get them lined up to go back in here. And the reason that I want this back pocket one in here is because I have these cute little sticky notes that are for the cash breakdown to give to the bank teller so you can get what actual bills that you need. This is from Boo Budgets, I believe. I'll link it down below, but it is from an Etsy shop and I just thought they were so cute. And this is just gonna be way more convenient to figure out what I need to put in each envelope. Just take this with me and give it to the teller so they can get me exactly what I need. But this fits perfectly in here, funny enough. So I'll keep those in here so I always have them easy access. But that is my cash envelopes. I used to do like the float trip and the fun money. I've kind of always saved in cash, but I just had regular like paper laminated envelopes, and honestly I was always a little bit afraid I was going to lose them because they just were free floating envelopes. So this way I don't have to worry about losing them. I can just keep this whole thing in our safe and it'll be safe. So that is the cash I'm going to be doing, cash envelopes I'll be using for this year. I do actually have my cash for my property taxes for 2021 that I have to pay this month in December. So I have 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. And I think my property tax amount is actually like $400.97 or something like that. So my saving $400 this year turned out perfect. But that is the concept here for my cash envelope sinking funds. So they're not all in cash, but the ones that are convenient to be in cash, I'm saving in cash. So that is really fun and exciting for me. But this is pretty much my sinking fund setup for 2022. These monthly amounts honestly are kind of just like estimates or kind of ideas. I haven't fully solidified what I'm going to do every month. Some of these I'm actually hoping to be fully funding real quick at the beginning of the year because I just have a lot of weird extra funds coming in the beginning of the year. So we'll just see how that ends up working out when I do my budgets each time. But that is just the overview I wanted to give you guys how sinking funds work. They're just things you save for throughout the year, so you have the money available when these things happen. You know Christmas is coming, you know property tax is coming, so why not save for them before they pop up and you have to scramble to find the money? So that is kind of my setup for my sinking funds. I'm really excited to get back into my budgeting videos this year, so hopefully this video gave you guys a little bit better overview of where I'm at in life and kind of what's going to be reflected in my future budgets. As always, let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will be posting a new video every Friday from now on, kind of just mostly budgeting, but also some planning and productivity as well. So I hope that sounds interesting for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.